Thank you for joining us tonight for our regular scheduled board meeting. The time is now 6:14 p.m. and we are calling our regular scheduled board meeting to order. If I can get Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
I'm present. Trustee Dooley.
Present.
Trustee Gross.
Present.
President Hannah.
Present.
Trustee Miller.
Present.
Treasurer Terry.
Present.
We have a quorum, 6-0.
Thank you. If we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved by Treasurer Terry, supported by Secretary David Smith for the approval of the agenda. Any questions? Roll call.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
All right, thank you. Moving down the agenda to awards and recognition. Dr. Leverett, the meeting is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. Good evening, trustees. Good evening, everyone. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to speak directly to what many of you are feeling and bringing into this room tonight. We see you, we hear you, and we understand how much this matters to you. The level of support we are seeing reflects something meaningful. It speaks to the relationships that have been built in this district, the trust that exists, and the deep connection this community has to its leadership. I also want to acknowledge that this is not an easy moment. When there are questions and uncertainty, it can feel unsettling, it can feel personal, and it can be hard to sit without not having all the answers. As a district, we have a responsibility to handle situations like this with care, consistency, and integrity.
On awards and
That means
recognition.
following established processes takes the full time to fully understand what is needed and making
Point of
decisions based
order.
on facts.
Excuse me, Trustee Dooley, Dr. Leverett has the floor.
Robert's Rule of Order. Point of order.
Please
We are on
continue.
the agenda.
Because
and we
this
are
is a
down for
personnel
awards and
matter,
recognition.
we are limited in what we can share publicly. I know that can be frustrating, especially for a community that cares deeply, but it is necessary to protect the rights of those involved and the integrity of the process. Please know that we are taking this seriously. We are moving thoughtfully and with urgency. In the meantime, our focus remains on the students and staff. They deserve stability, support, and a strong learning environment every single day. We hear you, we respect your voices, and we ask for your patience as we do the work that is required of us. Thank you. And now at this time, I will move forward with our awards and recognitions. I appreciate the opportunity. Good evening, everyone. Once again, we are very excited to recognize and honor opportunities for our staff to be engaged in summer learning that expands their professional repertoire and experience as teachers. This evening, this certificate of distinction is proudly presented to Pratima Dayal in recognition of being selected to participate in the 2026 Oakland University Education Association for an International Exchange Summer English Language Institute. Congratulations, Pratima, on this outstanding accomplishment given this 20th day of March 2026 in Pontiac, Michigan. We are very proud of you and look forward to you representing the Pontiac School District in this international exchange program. Pratima, if you're here today, please come and be recognized. This certificate of distinction is proudly presented to Suzanne Palmer in recognition of being selected to participate in the 2026 Oakland University Education Association for International Exchange Summer English Language Institute. Congratulations, Ms. Suzanne Palmer. If you're here, please come and be recognized, Ms. Palmer. So again, these are just two examples of our outstanding teachers. We certainly appreciate them and look forward to the opportunity that they have been afforded to participate in this learning opportunity with our great partners at Oakland University. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leverett. Moving down the agenda, good evening, trustees. Are there any elected officials in the audience? Thank you. State Representative Brenda Carter is here. Thank you for joining. You can bring greetings. Is there any other elected officials here?
Good evening, Board of Education.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone in the audience. All right. I came here to listen, to absorb some of the things I've been hearing, but then it came to my attention that there are serious concerns about insurance. And anybody that knows me in Lansing knows that is my wheelhouse. So I would just like to formally state to the Board of Education and to everybody else who is having insurance issues that I will be looking at it with everything I got. Thank you for this opportunity to speak.
Thank you. All right, continuing down the agenda, can I get a motion for the approval of the consent agenda?
Support.
It's been moved by trustee Gross and supported by treasurer Terry for the consent agenda, approval of the consent agenda. Any questions? Roll call.
Trustee Dooley. Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. That passes 6-0.
Thank you. Next, information from the superintendent and administration, Dr. Leverett.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. At this time, we'll have Principal Carafa speak to us, just providing a report on the ITA application process, the background rationale. The International Technology Academy, ITA, within the Pontiac School District utilizes a structured application process to ensure equitable access to its specialized technology-focused academic program. Given the Academy's rigorous curriculum and limited enrollment capacity, the process is designed to identify students who demonstrate interest, readiness, and commitment while maintaining fairness, transparency, and consistency in selection. Establishing clear protocols and timelines supports informed family engagement and allows the district to effectively align staffing, resources, and instructional programming. This approach ensures the enrollment process practices uphold the integrity of the academy while advancing the district's commitment to innovative, high-quality educational opportunities for all of our students. Mr. Carafa, thank you.
Thank you. That's all. Yep, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Leverett. Thank you, school board. I just want to kind of go over just a little summary of the enrollment overview and admissions process from the past year we just had. So it kind of has a little bit going into next year also, but kind of what we went through this year. So you can look at, we'll start first with K-5. K-5 enrollment roughly or approximately 379 students. You can see the breakdown: Latino, Black, Asian American, White, Native American students. So a good mixing bowl, I guess, in ITA or at the WHRC for us. So that's kind of the K-5. Now this is over the summer. Dr. Charman and I worked together on interviews with prospective students. The K-5 interviewed 15 students, accepted 7. There were 4 that were waitlisted due to various reasons, and then 1 was denied. A couple did not complete the application process either. So again, we have another breakdown of the race, I guess, or the makeup of the students that were selected as well through ITA K-5. The 6-12 enrollment overview, about approximately 443 students. Again, you can see the breakdown fairly similar to the K-5 in the percentages of the students. And again, a nice variety of students there too. Also, if you notice throughout the PowerPoint presentation, there are a variety of pictures too that kind of showcase some of the ITA goings on too. And you can see some of the robotics pictures up there too right now, which they just came back from their weekend match, and they performed very well. And they're headed on to the big worlds will be next. So we're excited about that. 612 over the summer. Interviews, 32 interviews, 29 accepted, 3 denied. There's the breakdown of the race and then the denied also as well for the 612. The mission and purpose of ITA is a K-12 program. Again, as Dr. Leverett was saying, K-12 program that provides academically and ethnically diverse experiences for students. We focus on critical thinking, collaboration, integrity, technology, and then our big push this year is our return to project-based learning, which the staff has really embraced as well. I saw some really good ones today in Ms. Natosky's class. I've seen them throughout ITA's building. Ms. Kramer, Ms. Huber, Ms. Abdo. It's been great to see. The goal is to prepare students for academic and personal success. So we're looking to not only make them academic students, but also citizens, excellent citizens as well. So we do have an application process for this program. It's an application-based program. So for individuals that are interested, they must provide academic indicators. So we're looking for somebody with a 3.0 GPA in grades 6 through 12 or the equivalent. And the same thing with grades K through 5. It says A's and B's, but that's also going to be an equivalent. Obviously, when you're in a kindergarten, first grade, second grade level, we go more by the teacher recommendations. So we'll get recommendations from Principal Harris and if there's other elementary principals within the district, they might recommend a student. We can go that route too. But we also, again, you're not looking for A's and B's. You're looking for that satisfactory marks in those grade levels. We're also looking for the applicants to bring in recent report cards, any standardized testing scores they might have. And then we're also looking for some engagement indicators, attendance history, and discipline history as well when we're interviewing students. We have done this. I've been here for 3 years, so I've done it twice. And last year was a good process. I think the first year for me was learning the process from others. Last year was us working together. And this year, I think we have another opportunity to grow and strengthen our process through a reading and writing prompt that we want to return to for the IT application, which will measure literacy readiness. It can assess any of their thinking that they might have, analytical thinking, just to get a better idea of who the students are when we talk to them. We do interviews with the student and the parent as well. And I think the process is good, but I think there needs to be another piece to that puzzle too. And I think this is the piece that was used in the past. And I think we're looking to strengthen the process by going back to that this year. The structure looks a little bit like this. The missions panel includes the principal, so it could be the K-5 or the 612, which just depends on which level you're at. I put 612 on here. The school counselors, or if you may have the elementary level might not be the counselor, it might be the social worker or the behavior specialist. You can also have grade level teachers. We have grade level teachers at the 612. And also our social worker behavior specialist, as I mentioned. The purpose is that way we have multiple perspectives. We're making decisions collaboratively, and it reduces kind of that subjectivity. We kind of have a checklist as well, a kind of standardized page that we kind of fill out as we go. Decisions are made. We consider the academic performance, attendance, consistency, behavior history, and the interview discussion. Just the back and forth is really a great way to get to know students and their parents. Again, the reading and writing prompt. And again, we're also thinking about available classroom seats. So as we get directives from our administrators up above us, we make our decisions, how many can we accept into classrooms, if we're reducing, if we're adding, however it may be, that we make some of those decisions based on the classroom seats or the room we have. Again, we don't use any type of demographic quotas or any race-based preferences. There's nothing like that. It's just an open It's just an open application, apply at will. You see, I'm laughing because we have a morning show at ITA, and the weatherman Action Jackson is right there, and he is one of our celebrities in the business. So I'll share that link to the classroom with Dr. Leverett, and Dr. Leverett, if you want, you can share it out to the board so they can watch our morning announcements. But Action Jackson is a star in the making. So another thing we have to consider is we do share the building, where it's not just ITA. There's Peace Academy, there's ITA K5, there's ITA 612. So the space is limited, seats are limited, and that's why another reason why not all qualified applicants can always be accepted too. If we can't fit them, we can't accept them. We haven't had that problem yet, but that's possibly down the road when we get to that point. So we do have a commitment to equity and continuous review. We're always looking at this application, the data. We're examining our demographics. We're adjusting to different things. We want to make sure that the school board's informed. Our goal, of course, is fairness, transparency, and continuous improvement in the process, and to continue to grow at ITA. And in closing, again, the process is a structured process, academic-based, multidisciplinary, capacity-driven, transparent. And again, as you see our class of 2026, they're getting ready to head on out. Our goal is readiness and long-term student success. I think that's the last one. That's all. Anyone has any questions?
Thank you, trustees. Trustee Miller?
I have a question
Yes.
in regards to the slide that says how decisions are made.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there an admittance committee currently that meets to discuss the applicants? How's that process going?
We have them. They will apply online through the website, the Pontiac website, and then the applications come to me, and then we do have, I guess you wouldn't call it a committee, but we do have the same group of individuals that would interview the students. We'll look through the applicants, and then we'll go from there. For the most part, just about everyone that would apply to us does get an interview. There may be some rare cases where they don't, but for the most part, everyone does get a shot. And yeah, that committee that interviews would also be that committee that kind of screens through the applicants. I also do have some help from Miss Fern upstairs too. She gets a lot of applicants that are turned in by hand, and then she'll bring them to me, and we'll go from there too.
And just to follow up, being that we're going into the 26-27 school year, and I heard you say that the applications are submitted online.
Yes.
Is that currently up and running on our website right now so people can apply for the 26-27 school year?
It is not. So if you do click on it, it does say that the application is currently closed. And it does close at a certain time when the school year starts, and then we reopen it, usually in April. And then once it's open in April, then we start scheduling our interviews, usually May and June. Last year, they ran over from June to July, and some even in August when we came back. So sometimes they just run over. And then as the summer goes along, we will continue to accept applications and interview throughout the summer too.
Trustee Dooley?
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is an open classroom environment, and
Yes,
it
ma'am.
seems to have had its successes. Am I correct?
Has its what?
Successes
Oh, yeah.
in like behavior, attendance, parental involvement. And then you said they need a 3.0 GPA average to get in, and teacher recommends them as well.
Yeah.
But would it be fair to say that the majority of these students that attend over here at ITA are ideal students?
Would it be fair to say they're ideal students?
Well, with a 3.0, I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah. I mean, if they're a 3.0 student, they're with no behavior issues and good attendance, I would say they're ideal students.
So you would say because of those variables, that's why the school has been successful delivering quality students in our district, because we have lack of behavior problems here. We have the students attend more regularly in this building, as well as increased parental involvement. I said that to say this. We have a situation where we possibly will be merging the students in another building that may have opposite the behavior. They'll have it.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily attend school a lot.
Yeah.
And parental involvement is lacking. I did that for a reason. Thank you so much.
Any other questions
Thank you, ma'am.
down there? I do have a question for you, Mr. Carafa. One, I just want a little bit of clarity. I know we've been so used to talking about ITA being a program, but we are now a school, correct?
Well, it is we do have a school code, yes.
Okay.
So yes, we are.
Okay, so we'll definitely need to update the information so
Yes.
that they understand it is a school. And the other question is regarding the application.
Yes.
When is the application available and when does it open? And then when does the application close?
I was talking to Dr. Devison today about the opening of it, and I think we're going to meet this week to make it official. We hope to have it soon. Within, like I said, usually we try to do it in April, within the start or the beginning of the fourth quarter. And then closing, last year we closed it, I think maybe a month into school, like in October. And then we did have plans also to reopen for semester 2. So we were thinking about that last year, but didn't get to that point because the school year began to happen. And we didn't have a lot of applicants during the year, but we have accepted quite a few students actually as the school year has gone. And that would be the same way the students would bring in their application. We do the whole interview and do the whole process. It's just a little different during the school year because we're in school now, so it's a little different that way.
Okay. All right, thank you. We just want to make sure that the application, when it is available, that it is promoted in the way
Yes.
so that it is,
Yes.
everybody can have
Yeah,
it.
last year we did that too. We did promote it when it was open. It's like, hey, we put out a reminder, hey, this is open, and big button on there says submit or whatever. Click here.
Okay. Thank you. Treasurer Terry, I saw your hand.
I did. Just one quick question. Good
Yes.
evening to you. Regarding I guess you want to say the application process. So they get admitted into that first year. Okay. Throughout that year, they're being evaluated based on those criteria.
Yes.
If they fall short of those criteria before the end of the year, are they then put out, or how does that work? Are they put on a list to be on probation type,
Yeah,
and then you get another semester, year to try to
Yeah.
improve?
Yep. Our goal is when we admit students, to keep students. So when we have students that might struggle right away, it might be because there's a new environment for them. So we understand that as well. So our goal is to admit students and to keep them. So when they do struggle, we try to get them the appropriate classes they need to, get some after school tutoring, whatever it may be to help them out. But our goal is never to have them in and out in 1 year. So there could be parent meetings to talk about, next steps. Is it still the right place for them? Is the pace fast? What could it be? But again, the goal is never to remove them. And that hasn't happened yet since I've been here. I don't think that someone's came and gone within that year that I can recall.
Okay, good. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Crawford.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Dr. Leverett?
Thank you. At this time, we will have for discussion and action our firewall replacement E-rate project, followed by our renewal of our EOP, Emergency Operating Plan, and that presenter will be Utia Whitaker, our security supervisor. Jeff?
Mr. Carafa needs to shrink a little bit.
Yeah.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent Leverett. Tonight, we have before you the Technology Services E-rate project, and I have a little PowerPoint to walk you through the E-rate process because it's not something we go through on a regular basis, just to kind of remind you how the federal government works and what we get from them with this project. So, Ms. Wright? So we'll talk about a little bit about networking, the funding sources, the bid summary, and then the recommendation. So on the diagram is a really stripped down version of what our network looks like. This is all the behind the scenes stuff. So we have the internet that's provided through Oakland schools. It comes into our district head end, which is here at WHRC. And that's where the firewall physical hardware sits. And that goes into our core switch, which then goes into each of our buildings. network, closets, and then all of your devices and all the staff devices, student devices connect in some way through our network switches and go back out that path out to the internet. So think of the firewall as the gatekeeper for our security measures and cybersecurity. Without it, it's the Wild West. Anybody can get into our network and anybody can get out of our network. So it's an important piece of our strategic planning for our cybersecurity. And we replace it about every 5 to 7 years. Ours is 6 years old right now, coming up on its end of life. And we're taking advantage of some federal funds to replace it. So the E-rate program has been around many years, over 20 years. And it started off as a way to get internet and phone systems into schools and libraries. And it was funded through a surcharge on all of your phone bills. It used to be like 95 cents and it'd say USF surcharge, and it came on all of the phone bills. Now they've included some of the cellular and other connection measures, but it still only allows us to buy things that help the schools and public libraries get out to the internet. So it pays for our internet services through Oakland schools and all of the infrastructure that connects to it. So the firewall, the network switches, and the wireless access point are the only eligible items that fall into the funding model. We can't buy staff with it. We can't buy laptops or Chromebooks. We're very limited in what we can do. We can't even buy telecom services any longer. The funding cycles are about 5 years, and it's set by the federal government. This year's funding cycle for Pontiac will allow us to spend about $834,000 over the 5 years on those approved items. So it comes out to about $201 per pupil in the district. It's locked in the first year, so if our enrollment goes up, it does not go up. If it goes down, it doesn't go down. So that's how that works. For this particular project, we partnered with the Oakland schools. As you recall, we're part of the field service model at Oakland schools, and there are 15 local districts that are part of that model. So Oakland schools acted as the RFP organizer and put out an RFP through the federal E-rate program and the Office of Procurement at Oakland schools for all 15 districts and the ISD. It followed the federal timeline, so it has a little bit different model than what we might do in a local district. As far as putting it out, it has to go be published for 30 days minimum. It was issued in January. We had 6 bids received for the project. In your summary, you had the details on the submittals. We received solutions from the 3 major players for firewalls: Cisco, Palo Alto, and Fortinet. Fortinet is the product we've been using for the last 6 years, and many of our local other districts do as well. And it'll be the recommended solution that would like to move forward with. The project timelines allow us to start the project in June and be completed by the start of the school year. The funding is a little tricky. E-rate is this new math. It doesn't quite always add up because it's based upon eligible services, and not all of the firewall services are eligible, although you need it to run the hardware. So it's up to 80% of eligible expenses for eligible items. For this project, it means we'll get about $20,000 back on the purchase. We can't apply for it for the software portions. The federal government hasn't caught up to cybersecurity times and realizes that we need software to run some of the hardware. Hopefully that'll change in the near future. The recommendation is for Delta Networks solutions for a firewall. Pontiac's firewall size is $67,000 and some change. We're also recommending we have a $5,000 project contingency. Once in a while, we run into problems that we don't anticipate, and that's why we add the contingency, some cables, so we don't have to come back to the board and ask for additional funding sources, because it's kind of an urgent thing. When we put the firewall, we take the firewall out, the network goes down. When we put it back in, then everything starts to come back up. So we have a short window if we need to go purchase a few cables or some other pieces. That's why we put that small contingency. As I said, Fortinet has been a reliable partner, as is Delta Networks, for the ISD and the local districts. We've been very happy with the performance and the pricing on the solution. It's an industry leader, and it comes in at a fraction of the cost of some of the other players. So we really like that portion of it. It'll be a combination of funding sources. So we fund it through our bond program, and then we get reimbursement through the federal E-rate program, and those monies go back into the bond for the technology project. So it's kind of a loan that we're providing the federal government so we can hit the timelines and get the work done in the summer when we need to. There is a non-eligible portion, and that's mainly the software. And what Oakland Schools is going to do is they're going to purchase the software and then invoice the districts. Because all 15 districts and the ISD are purchasing the same product, we're able to leverage some of the managerial applications. So we do a fractional ownership of that. So it gets divided out by our FTE count. So we're only paying for a small portion of the managerial licensing, where a Farmington, which is a little bit larger district, pays a little larger share. So it allows us some economy of scale, saves us some money in the long run. And Oakland Schools will invoice us that starting in July, and then we'll pay that through our normal operational budget, and we budget for that regularly. So that's the project in a nutshell. I know it's not glamorous. It's not as fun as going to China and being part of that program, but it is a necessary piece of our cybersecurity model.
Thank you. Trustees, any questions?
I just have a quick question.
Trustee Dooley.
Jeff,
Trustee Dooley. Sorry, Trustee Gross. Trustee Dooley.
when you presented to us a while back, we were here, this was not part of that presentation. That's one part. The other part, we talk about getting reimbursed and it'll go back into our general funds, but we won't get it until the following year. And then it's not guaranteed that we will get what we think we're going to get. Am I correct with that?
Let me answer question one first. You're correct. We did not present this when we did the wireless access point E-rate project. Because of the complexity of having all 15 districts in Oakland Schools procurement, it took a little longer to get this piece together for all 15 districts. And we had to hit the timeline. So it is, while it was on our project list, it wasn't completed at the same time as our access points, which is coming also out of bond and E-rate. So the projects got separated a little bit.
You
And
speak
then-
of 15 districts. Oakland County is 28. What 15 are you talking about?
The 15 districts are part of the Oakland Schools field service model. So they are Oakland Schools provides the IT services for 15 of the 28 local districts. So Clawson, Clarenceville, Pontiac, Ferndale, Oak Park. I can rattle off the rest if you'd like, but like Rochester is not part of the field model. Avondale is not part of the field model. They have their own IT departments in-house.
So are we collaboratively splitting the cost of this? Is that why you're now presenting and you're requesting 67,000 plus? Are we, those 15 districts, do we have our own even allocation to pay?
Yes, you have your hardware
is the
solution, which is the
$67,000.
$67,000. That's the physical hardware that we're purchasing. The licensing side, that $11,499.82, that's the software portion, which is a shared purchase price of those 15 districts in Oakland Schools.
Would it be fair to say because we're in a joint vested purchase that we have gotten discounts? This is a
Yes. We grouped 15 firewalls together, so the vendors were all able to come in a little bit more aggressive, knowing that they're getting a large project. As you saw in the summary that I think was in your board packet, the total package is about $1.5 million, I believe. I can look that up. For all 15 districts.
We didn't get, I don't see it in my board package, but it may be there somewhere. The price I see is $834,701. That's the price, the overall price I have, which says it's from, it's going to cover a period of 2026 to 2031.
That's the
Funding
total E-rate
cycle.
funding. That's how much we can go to the federal government and request reimbursement for our network switching, our access points, and our firewalls, and any cabling that we may want to do.
So you said we can request. Is it guaranteed that our request will be fulfilled? Or is there a possibility that we can request reimbursement and be denied?
You could be denied
That's all.
if it's uneligible services. We have not been denied yet. We go undergo audits and reviews. The federal government might not like, say, when we did our own internal private network, our fiber network that connected all of our buildings together. We had substantial, that is eligible under E-rate. So we got 80%, 80 cents on the dollar, basically, for that project because of our free and reduced lunch count and qualifications. So we went under substantial review. They may not like a path we're going or things like that, but eventually we were able to get it all approved. So nothing's guaranteed, but the 30 years I've done it, we haven't been rejected in any of my districts for E-rate. Sometimes it takes a little longer to get it through the federal government, but the money usually, shows up in this next school year, usually around November.
Thank you.
Trustee Miller, did you have a question?
When does the process start?
We'll start in June with a completion by September before the start of school.
And the funding source again is from the bond, correct?
We'll use the bond and then reimburse the bond with E-rate. There is a small portion that $11,000 will come out of our operational budget next year.
Your operation.
Technology services operational
Nothing
budget.
out of general fund. Thank you.
That was actually part of my question. Procedurally, there's no funding sources listed on the BEAR, even if it's the bond or the operational budget. On the BEAR, when any monies are being allocated, the funding source should be made available so we know exactly what account is coming out of. So there's no funding source. That's
That
listed
didn't
on
show up
the
on the BEAR. I apologize.
Do
We can
have-
table that to the next meeting if you would like the BEAR modified to show that
Yes,
the
I would,
approval.
please.
at the discretion of board president.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No,
Sorry.
that's fine. My question was, implementation would start during the summer, you mentioned.
After school gets out.
Would that interfere with summer school at all?
We'll work around schedules.
Okay.
The downtime should ideally be a couple hours. So we'll probably start staging the equipment during the day, and then when it goes dark as far as instruction or operations, then we do pull the plug and make the switch and make sure all the routing and all that fun stuff works.
Okay, thank you. All right, the next, Dr. Leverett.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Dr. Hannah. At this time, we'll also have for discussion and action, our security coordinator, Utia. We are seeking approval of emergency operation plan. And the background rationale is Michigan's Public Act 436 of 2018, MCL 380.1308B mandates that Michigan school districts, ISDs, and PSAs develop all hazardous emergency operation plans, EOPs, covering scenarios like violence, weather, and intruders, requiring collaboration with law enforcement, public input, vulnerability assessments, and regular updates certified with the Michigan Department of Ed. While EOPs are confidential and exempt from FOIA to maintain tactical security, the law requires public input. This was obtained via surveys on general safety concepts. Once approved, the district will certify the plans on the Jim Myers system. And the plan must address the following: school violence, threats, active violence protocols, intruders, bomb threats, fire, weather-related emergencies, intruders, parent-pupil reunification, threats to events, activities, mental health training, building security, continuity of operations, vulnerability assessments, wireless device usage protocols, temporary locking devices. The funding source is in A, and is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the district's emergency operation plans, EOPs, as we have presented.
Good evening. The EOPs are complete. They're done. Everything in it that needs to be in it for the intruders, violence. I did a new cell phone policy that's going to go in it as well. We did a new template, so there's not the old template anymore. The state of Michigan had a new one. And it added cardiac arrest, so we had to implement a cardiac team by law. We had to do I Love You Guys Foundation, had to go in as well, emergency response team. We added those two as well to it. So everything is done. The teachers, the principals pitched in and they added who they needed to add for their team. And the teachers will have it is a classroom checklist that's EOP just for them as well. That was on the Michigan State website. I also implemented for safety.
All right. Trustees, any questions? Okay. All right, thank you. All right, moving down to action items. Trustees, can I get a motion to table the approval of the firewall replacement E-rate project?
Support.
It's been moved by trustee Gross and supported by trustee Dooley to table the approval of the firewall replacement E-rate project to our next meeting. Any questions? Roll call.
Trustee Gross,
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
I'm voting yes, and Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
All right, thank you. Can I get a motion for the approval of renewal of emergency operation plans?
So move.
It's been moved by trustee Gross, supported by trustee Dooley for the approval of the renewal of emergency operation plans. Any questions? Roll call, please.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
And Trustee Gross.
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
All right, thank you very much. Moving down the agenda to finance items. Dr. Leverett?
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. At this time, we will have our monthly financial report presented by Catherine. Catherine, how are you? Good. Good to see you. Oh, you okay?
All right, so if we get the slides up, this is a condensed version that we present on the financial situation year to date. The board receives a more detailed financial packet for full transparency on all expenditures for review and in a more detailed manner. But this will give us a full picture, kind of where we're at the current time. All right. I know the suspense is killing you. I'll be up in a minute. Okay. All right.
Before you start,
Yes.
while we're getting technically ready,
Yep.
the last time you came before this board, there was a discrepancy about $1 million. Did you find out where that $1 million was? When
And what are you referring to?
Trustee
Million?
Miller pointed out an error on your report, and I think you reported 14 million, 13, and it's actually 14 million. And you said you would have that information available. In fact, you agreed with Trustee Miller that
Yeah.
she was correct. You were incorrect with your findings. So do you have that information available
Yes,
for
that-
us?
Yes, that'll fall out through the presentation. Okay. Thank you. All right.
Trustee Miller?
I have a question while we're waiting.
Okay.
Being that we are coming up to have to make decisions regarding our 26-27 school year budget, and that needs to be approved by June.
Yes.
I've asked several times, when will we have a an informal or formal presentation to the board or a board study session so that we are equipped with the necessary information that we need to make a sound decision. And I haven't received a date yet. And this is my third time, I believe, asking for that service. So do you have an anticipated date?
I don't have an exact date, but it'll be May at the latest. Working on the budget right now is in the works. And we're working very diligently on that. So we can set a date that works for everyone. All right.
If you could direct my attention to, I'm looking for that $600,000 payment. If you could tell me what page it's on, I will go from there.
And $600,000 payment?
Yeah,
What fund are you referring to and what expenditure? Are you
litigation.
Are you I'm sorry. I guess I'm not sure what page you're on.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'm not sure what page you're on that you're referring to.
Would you just make sure you point it out when you get to it? If I
Okay.
don't, because
Yeah.
your print, I asked last time, could the print be enlarged? When we're looking at numbers, this font is probably like a 6 or 5. When we're dealing with numbers, we need about a 12.
Okay. All right. Then we will make sure that happens next time. All right. So we're going to start out with the cash flow for the general fund. So the general fund represents where all our operational dollars are expended. So currently right now, if we look at the ending cash balance in March, we'll see that we have $41 million in cash. That represents approximately 4 months of annual expenditures for the year. And as we roll through the slides, what we'll see is that we have an influx of revenue because our main funding source is property taxes. And then we have another 3 months, through the end of the year in order to save for those expenditures throughout the year. So this 4 months we're in a good position, but as I think we need to keep in mind, it's only 4 months worth of covering expenditures. So if we go to the next slide, and we've had this slide, it's the historic cash flow with and without the tax anticipation notes. So the school district has moved in a positive position because as you see in the past, as we went along, we had to issue tax anticipation notes to receive property taxes in advance so that we could make it through the year. We've now positioned ourselves so that we no longer have to do that. And we are able to have a fund balance that we're able to sustain that and not issue those notes. By not issuing those notes, it allows us not to pay interest and allows us not to have issuance costs, which is very costly. So this is great stride for the district. Okay, and then if we move to the next. So this was what I was referring.
Excuse me.
Yes.
There's no tables explanation to what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at lines, colored lines. It's not on mine. My printed. It's just, am I on the wrong? It's historic. So it's just lines.
No, you're right. It wasn't included on there on this presentation.
So
It might have got left off.
This would basically, yeah. So maybe we need to include a more of a key at the bottom.
I'm going to ask that we table this. I'd like to make a motion that we table this until we get information that's on our slides that would tell me what I'm looking at, because technically all I'm looking at is colored lines.
Do you want to continue through the rest of this?
I don't. I'm asking through the chair that we table her presentation because we're looking at funding and I have no key to anything. I'm just looking at literally colored lines. They have no meaning to me. Therefore, I will not be able to answer any questions to my constituents when they call and ask me or send me an email about the budget or what did I do. I'll sit here and be a deer in headlights like I am, because this should not even have come to me.
Thank you. It's been moved by trustee Dooley, second by trustee Gross, to table this presentation to another date. Any questions? Roll call.
Give me a real budget.
She not here. She not in.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
that passes 5-0.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Catherine. If you can update that and send it out to us
Yes,
before you
yes, and everyone
represent it
has the
again.
information and it's fully transparent. So
Yes.
yes, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
All right.
All right, Dr. Leverett, moving down the curriculum and instruction.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. At this time, we will have Dr. Devison. Her presentation is on the social studies course adoption. This is a report.
Good evening to everyone. Today we're going to be introducing the social studies course adoption for the high school for ITA and also project-based learning for the middle school. So we're proposing 2 courses. Next slide. So the first course for high school and ITA is the personal finance curriculum approval. Next slide, please. So the rationale for the addition of the personal finance curriculum is for state graduation requirement for all students entering 11th grade for the 26-27 school year. The curriculum must include specific benchmarks provided by the state of Michigan. Coursework can be embedded in economics or be fulfilled through an approved CTE course, and we're doing it through the economic course. Per the state, the number of graduation credits will not change, whether the personal finance credit will replace a half a credit requirement for either 4th year math, world language, or fine arts. Next slide, please. So the personal finance standards, these are the standards that are listed, and I'll just give you time to review those. Next slide. So how PSD will implement the new requirements, the course will be embedded into our current economic course, as several of the benchmarks are already taught in this course. The economic course will be linked in MyStar to the personal finance course, so students are enrolled in them simultaneously but graded separately. The personal finance course will be graded by completion of a portfolio. There will be assignments as each unit is completed, as well as a final portfolio grade. MyStar will automatically assign the half credit for personal finance to count for either 4th year math, world language, or fine arts, depending on what each student needs. We will use the next gen personal finance curriculum, which is completely free. What is the next gen personal finance curriculum? The next gen personal finance is a nonprofit organization founded in 2014 with the goal that every high school student in the U.S. will have at least 1 semester of personal finance by the time they graduate by the year of 2030. It will provide completely free semester-long curriculum, including professional learning for teachers and tech integration support. The curriculum is up to date and includes current events and activities that are highly engaging to students. Next slide. Grads who have taken personal finance courses are most likely to save rainy day fund, less likely to spend compulsively, more likely to take moderate investing risks, less likely to borrow from high APR predatory lenders, more likely to borrow less money for college, more likely to borrow smarter by using subsidized student loans, and more likely to pay credit cards in full and on time. Next slide. So I want to just pause there because that was just the personal finance class, and if there are any questions as it relates to that.
Trustees, any questions? Trustee Dooley?
Can you clarify, Dr. Deverson? Was it for both the high school, Pontiac High, as well as ITA?
Correct. It's a required course for high school students.
So am I clear? Both
Yes, yes,
buildings will receive this training,
correct. Receive this course.
course training? Okay, I thought you started out saying, I misunderstood you, thinking that you were only referencing ITA high school students would get it and not the high.
No. So it's a required course for the state of Michigan. So ITA has 11th grade and the high school has 11th grade. So for both schools.
So specifically for 11th graders as well?
Yes, it's a high school course.
One. Let me go. It's 2 hours.
Trustee Miller?
Hello, Dr. Deverson. I have a question in regards to, okay, this is a personal file, okay. You know what? I yield. Never mind. Thank you.
No worries.
All right.
I'm
Any other
going-
questions
I'm
regarding the
sorry.
personal finance? I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. Please continue.
Okay, now I'm going to the ITA Middle School Project-Based Learning Course approval. Next slide, please. And this course is for the project-based learning course integrated in social studies, English language arts, and science to help students explore real-world problem through inquiry, research, data analysis, and communication. And it's using the 6th, 7th social studies standards as the anchor. Students engage in extended projects that require them to read complex texts, analyze data, apply scientific reasoning, and communicate evidence-based conclusions. The course emphasizes collaboration, problem solving, civic thinking, and real world application, preparing students to transfer skills across all core academic areas. Next slide. So in that project-based learning, students will be able to be communicators, collaborators, critical thinkers, creators, and also work with technology. Teachers have the ability to collaborate on cross-curricular projects for students. ITA middle school students will have the opportunity to practice project-based learning under the supervision of a certified teacher prior to entering high school. The curriculum will be drawn from other core content classrooms, and students will earn a half an elective credit for taking this course. Next slide. These are the standards that it applies to, and I'll give time for the reading. Next slide. So again, just ask, oh, let me read the bear. I'm sorry.
Dr. Deverson, is this course just for ITA middle school?
Correct.
Is there a reason why we're not offering it to our general population over at the middle school?
Coming soon. So with this last summer, we did the project-based learning training. And so this year we'll do project-based learning training for the middle school. So when we talked about project-based learning, remember we talked about doing a rollout and not doing all of them at one time. It is a rigorous process. And so we just want to keep adding as we go each year.
So you already have this calendared out for when you're going to roll those students into this project-based learning? My concern is that we don't move or widen the gap of what we provide the students in this building opposed to what we provide the students on the other side of town in those two buildings. I
So-
want us to be aligned.
So in all honesty, when I took the role of project-based learning was offered at ITA, and we had not experienced that, so we brought it back to ITA. And then like I said, it's not something that you could just roll out district-wide. We wanted to take our time and roll it out, one school at a time. It is a big endeavor to roll out and to do it district-wide. We just were not able to do it all at once.
So correct me if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
this school has always been project-based learning from its conception.
This is correct, but it was not happening at that time, not in its full capacity. Okay, so I'll read the bear. Background rationale. Project-based learning course will provide students with the basic skills required to complete project-based learning activities, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, technology. Teachers can collaborate on cross-curricular projects for students. Students will earn half elective credit for taking the course. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Education approve the project-based learning course for ITA Middle School for the 26-27 school year and future years.
Dr. Deveson, you stated it was not implemented with fidelity. I think that's what I heard you saying. So what constraints have you put in place to ensure this time around? Because I know project-based learning has been in this district for at least 10 years bare minimum, right here in this building. So if it was not implemented with fidelity, what checkpoints do we have to make sure that this time around we will implement it with fidelity and be able to roll it out to the other population to give us a level playing field, if I will?
So in all honesty, remember, we've had a lot of turnover in teachers. So that was the goal when we brought it back, was to make sure that we ensure that all teachers were participating and received the professional development. And to your question, so this summer we did the professional development. That would have been ITA staff, curriculum and instruction staff participated. And so we did it alongside ITA. And then for the school year with ITA, Mr. Carafa and also Dr. Charman and also Mr. Upton have been doing the PD throughout the school year. In addition to, we have sent out surveys with the ITA staff to make sure that whatever assistance they need or what we've been doing. We've also had some projects where we judge some of the projects. I was a part of that judging. Even the past mayor was even a part of that judgment. So in that, we have been following through and making sure that we're holding people accountable. And again, next year, this summer, we're going to do middle school with the project-based learning, and we'll do that same follow through.
Dr. Deveson, I remember when, matter of fact, it was February of 2025, when the discussions were to merge Pontiac High and ITA together. And my specific question was, how would that work with the curriculum? And unless I heard you wrong, I recall you saying that the curriculum at Pontiac High and ITA was the same. About February 28th-ish, 2025, my memory serves me correct?
My memory doesn't serve me the same, so I'm not 100% sure. I would have to double check that.
And my concern.
And there are some teachers at the high school that could be doing project-based learning, but I'm gonna be honest, I know for sure at ITA, this last summer, we trained the teachers at ITA to do project-based learning.
And I appreciate that. My concern is, now we're providing a level of curriculum to one of our learning institutions, but we're not equally providing that across Pontiac School District. That's a concern of mine because they're all of our students. So why does one institution be privileged to the project-based learning and not everybody? I mean, I understand it was ITA Middle School, but we only have one other middle school. So how rigorous would it be to roll it out to the two schools that we have that are middle schools? Is that unreasonable?
It's not unreasonable.
Was that discussed and with, so why?
I don't have an answer for you at this very moment.
Okay, any other questions for Dr. Devison? You can continue, Dr. Devison.
You want me to read the second beer or?
Yes.
Okay. So, course recommendation, background rationale was the state graduation requirement for all students entering 11th grade in the 26-27 school year. So again, course approval for personal finance at ITA and Pontiac High School. It is the recommendation of the administration that the Board of Education approve the personal finance course for ITA and Pontiac High School for 26-27 school year and future years.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions, board trustees, for Dr. Devison? All right, moving down to action items. Can I get a motion for the approval of the project-based learning course at ITA Middle School?
So move.
Support.
It's been moved by trustee Gross, supported by treasurer Terry, for the approval for project-based learning course at ITA Middle School. Any questions?
Yes.
I don't know which way it came. I'm gonna start to my right.
Ladies first.
My left. Thank you.
Yes, I just want to note for the record that we are supposed to provide a level of education and curriculum to all of our students. And to separate our students at Pontiac Middle School and ITA Middle School by not providing Pontiac Middle the same project-based learning, I will never support that, because that is causing a division in the curriculum that we're providing to our students.
Thank you. Trustee Gross?
Well, I wanted to take a different direction because if we start this with ITA, what is the timeline for us to start this at the middle school as well?
So they're going to
Because
do
you said
it.
there's no issues, there's no concerns, it can be done. So I'm not asking right now, just come to us at the next board meeting, whatever you can.
But I have an answer for you. This summer, the middle school will be doing the project-based learning training this summer for implementation for the 26-27 school year.
Okay,
So they're being trained. Again, it's a rollout.
okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call, please.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley,
Can you restate the vote?
The question is, we're voting for the approval for the project-based learning course at ITA Middle School. And so next, Secretary David Smith, you continuing with roll call? Who was next?
Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
No.
that passes 5-0.
All right, thank you very much.
Item
Approval,
one,
can I get a motion for the approval of personal finance course
So
at
moved.
ITA and
Support.
Pontiac High School? It's been moved by treasurer Terry, supported by trustee Gross, for the approval of the personal finance courses at ITA and Pontiac High School. Any questions? Roll call, please.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
and Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
That passes 6-0.
All right, thank you very much. Now, next on our agenda is communication. Thank you, Dr. Devison. Next on the agenda is communications, petitions, and delegations, and we do have some. And so your request to address the Pontiac Board of Education for 3 minutes is granted with your commitment that all comments will be delivered with courtesy and civility. Failure to do so will result in forfeiture of your allotted time. The first person I have is Laura Townsley. The next is Pastor Douglas Jones. And then the next is Scott Rutherford, and I'll call them in 3x3s.
Teachers and paraprofessionals are the backbone of any school district. How you treat them is an extension of the care and concern you have for our kids and their futures. You don't prioritize stabilizing the lives of those who show up every day and invest in our children in a way that you refuse. I watched the state board come and report on our testing scores towards the beginning of the year. And one of you said, I don't know what's going on because I'm behind the table. You're in front of the table. And to that I say, get from behind the table and get into the classrooms. I did. You're being invited places and you're not showing up. To me, it seems you care more about a seat than doing the work required to keep a seat. In February, the union unanimously voted no confidence in the president and many others of you, and you continue to sit there in those seats as if it didn't happen. Collectively, you are ignoring core responsibilities to your role as a school board, fiduciary responsibility, and improving student achievement. I listened to the State of City address last week, and the school district and its performance were not discussed, and that's concerning because it's being overlooked. Mayor McGinnis stated, our children went to the most desirable schools in one of the strongest, if not the strongest districts in all of Michigan. He didn't say when, but here I ask when. When was that? With a 12% math proficiency, an 18% reading proficiency, a 63% graduation rate, this district currently ranks the bottom 50% of all Michigan schools. And money seems to be a foundational issue, one where integrity falls short. With one of, if not the number one highest funded districts in Michigan, where is the money being invested? Teachers, staff, resources, support. An internal audit has been requested and it's been refused. Through a decision made by the board president and superintendent, a lawsuit was settled for $600,000. A superintendent got the 13% raise, $300,000 in consultants, $400,000 to a Mr. Montgomery, $200,000 for a Miss Williams, and $86,000 for a Dr. Witherspoon. Let's not get stuck on the money though, because I have other concerns regarding integrity in the district, safety, and communication. There was a serious incident out of Whitman near a month ago. As a parent, how was I notified? I wasn't. I saw it online. But well over a week after the incident, a letter was sent home, not notifying of the gravity of the situation, just informing us that there was some administrative changes happening. A teacher went viral a week or so prior to that because she lost her cool on a student, and your response was loud and swift. If virality is what causes a response, and let today go viral, let public opinion and involvement drive you to do what's right. You sit in those seats as a servant to the public and advocate for kids and a beacon of direction for Pontiac's future, and you squander it. These teachers have been asking for resources and support, and when they crack, you jump on their back. The district operates in the hush, and our children suffer. Our city's future will pay the brunt. As the city grows and economic opportunity increases, our children will be left behind because the education we present them through what you invest will not prepare them to take advantage. We've got to start somewhere. Open the books, give teachers their fair pay, and protect it with a contract. Signed, a parent of a Pontiac student.
I hope those applause were for me. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the opportunity to address the board. I come as a follow-up to the last meeting. Well, I'm Pastor Douglas Jones of the Greater Pontiac Community Coalition, but I come as a follow-up to the last meeting where we discussed not only the proficiency, but also the engagement and involvement of the community within the Pontiac Public Schools. Let it be noted that we love our schools, we love our parents, we love our teachers, and we love the board. The board sent out a note. We did send a letter based on the Education Committee of how we thought we, the community, could work with the board in the area of proficiency, in the area of support and engagement. I had an opportunity to talk to the board chairman about it as well, and the division of the school district, 8 elementary schools, 1 middle school and 1 high school, how we could get the community involved, not only the fraternities, sororities, teachers, community, business persons, to help with the school district, to partner with them. We did receive a note back on dated March the 27th that says the school district is interested in greeters, breakfast and lunch workers, classroom people, and helpers. We sent a note back to the district asking them to appear at the next meeting, which is Monday, this coming Monday, the 26th, or whatever date it is, at 5:30, so that we could talk about that, how we could combine our efforts together. It is my hope, and the reason for my purpose of being here today is to follow up on the letter that I said that I would be here, and also to make sure that the school district, who we addressed the letter to, will respond back, so that hopefully on this coming Monday, that the superintendent, the president of the school board, would also show up and show us, here's how we can divide this. The 10 districts, 10 school districts, 10 school groups, as well as the fraternities, sororities, and community, to get them engaged in a competitive area, that they will compete with each other to make sure that we engage in improving the attendance, improving the proficiency scores. I believe that that type of competitive competition among each person will help us to raise the score, the proficiency scores, the attendance scores, the engagement of the parents and the community. So what we want is follow up on your letter. And if this is what you're asking, let's do it. That it's not just a response, but it's also saying, let's join together to make our schools what we want our schools to be. Again, I'll close with this. We love our schools. We love our teachers. We love what the board needs to do, but we can all do it together. Thank you very much, and you can have my other 8 seconds.
Thank you. 4 board members said at the last meeting that they wanted to get the contract done, a solid majority, that they supported the proposal provided by the union and that the contract would be finished soon. That was 2 weeks ago. And since that time, the board's team has done exactly the opposite of what the board members promised. They refused to bargain over break. Our team was willing to give up their vacation time so that we could do what was best for everyone in the Pontiac community and finally settle the contract. But the board's team chose to take their vacation instead of coming to work. That's telling about what they really value. And then last week, when we had a scheduled bargaining meeting that had been on the books for weeks, the board's team canceled. Why? Another vacation? District emergency? No, one of the 2 highly paid attorneys couldn't make the meeting. We understand emergencies happen, but are we seriously meant to believe that no one from the 2 teams of attorneys contracted by the district and paid for by the taxpayers was competent to handle the negotiations? And if not, why does the district contract them? What you, the voters, might not know is that in most districts, the board members negotiate with the teachers, and attorneys are consulted at the end of the process to verify that the legal I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But in Pontiac, the 2 teams of attorneys, whom the district pays over $250 an hour, they bailed at the last minute with no regard for the importance of the situation or its urgency. That's unacceptable. Taxpayer dollars are being wasted. The board's team could have easily kept the meeting finished what few minor issues remain, and then consulted with the attorneys at another time if they felt it was necessary to do so. But no, they simply found another reason to delay, another reason to say no, another reason to break their promise to the teachers and, frankly, to this community, to the very people who voted them into office and are paying them $200 every time they sit up in this dais. It's incredulous that the board continues to perpetuate the myth, as it did 2 weeks ago, that it cares about educators. You speak a lot up on stage, but we down here know the truth. Your actions belie your words. Put up or shut up. If you're not going to get the deal done, quit giving this community lip service about how you appreciate the teachers. You don't. Full stop. Our union reps are limited in what information they can give us and share with us about what's being negotiated. But let's assume this contract really is an A paper. It's still 10 months late. Some of you are educators. You tell me, what grade do you give an A paper when it's 10 months late?
Tim Grimel, Patricia Whitaker, and Dion Peoples.
Well, good evening, President Hanna, members of the board, Superintendent Leverett, Dr. Leverett. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you this evening. I'm here to respectfully express my grave concerns about the fact that it is almost 300 days since the bargaining unit's contracts have expired. I firmly believe that literally everybody in this room, including everybody at the rostrum, in this room's goal is to provide the highest quality education to each and every student in this school district. And I can tell you, as a former school board member myself, that the most important and valuable asset any school district has in achieving that goal is high quality educators. And by educators, I mean not just teachers, but everybody in the school that helps that school function and that interacts with our students. So that includes teachers, it includes secretaries, it includes paraprofessionals. But the only way that any school district will ever retain and attract high quality teachers, paraprofessionals, and secretaries is by treating them with dignity and respect and making sure that they're being provided with competitive pay and benefits. And the fact that we are just 2 months away now from going a full year without a contract for our educators is a grave mistake, because that is not how this district will attract and retain high quality educators. And as a result, it is not how this district will make sure that it's providing the highest quality education to our young people. So I urge you and encourage you to do the right thing by the educators in this district, but even more importantly, do the right thing by the students in this district, and quickly and urgently reach an agreed upon collective bargaining agreement with all three bargaining units. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pat Whitaker, and I'm here tonight on behalf of some of the students, the constituents of Pontiac. I'm born and raised in Pontiac, a product of Pontiac School District, and I'm here to talk about Dr. Powell. I've sent some emails, I've made some phone calls, I've even went live. I've gotten about 300 phone calls, about 200 inboxes. I don't have any children in the Pontiac School District, but it's so alarming and concerning to me what has happened with Dr. Powell. I know what happened over at Walt Whitman. I'm very concerned about that. But from my understanding, she's out on administrative leave. I know, as you said, Dr. Leverett, you can't talk about that. I'm not sure if you were addressing that concern, because I did thank you for that, for sharing that with me, because I have emailed your secretary. I have emailed some of you guys on the board. I have emailed a lot of people. No one's gotten back to me. Not sure what protocol is, how long it takes to respond to an email to say, hey, we're doing an investigation. But tonight I'm here on behalf of Dr. Powell. She has had a huge impact on our community. I had my son when I was 16 in Pontiac schools. I had Mr. Spinks, I had Dr. Powell. She was just coming on board, but I made it. I got out of high school, I graduated. I do very well for myself. Again, I'm not a Pontiac student. I'm not a Pontiac resident with students in the district, but my heart goes back to Pontiac. When anybody needs a donation, when anybody needs anything, I reach out to Dr. Powell. When Dr. Powell needs anything, she reaches out to me. We attend the same church. She haven't reached out to me, but I told her, I said, well, what's going on with the reinstatement of Dr. Powell? She doesn't want to talk about it, but parents are concerned. They know she's been in the community for 40 years teaching. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old at that time. She has a huge impact on her building. From what I hear, this is all hearsay, there has been 2 interim principals over at Walt Whitman since she's been out for 36 days. I'm not really sure if that's true. I haven't done an investigation, but I have hired a person to do an investigation on this entire incident, because again, from my understanding, she was in a meeting during the time. I know she's administration, not sure again how protocol goes, if you have to start from the top and work your way down, Dr. Leverett and the school board, and an investigation is being done. But again, she's been out of the school, and from my understanding as well, someone has told me 30% of attendance has failed. So at some point, a truancy officer will be over there at Walt Whitman to say, hey, where are our kids? Parents have told me, and maybe that number I'm incorrect, Ms. Miller, I see you're typing, but again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's not 30%. Maybe people are just talking. I don't know, but my huge concern is, when will Dr. Powell be reinstated? As you all know, she doesn't do it for the money. She does it for the children. And she's never even spoken to me about a contract. She doesn't talk about a lot of things. She didn't even come to me for help, but parents called me. I have about, again, 200 inboxes, and I'm just a person out of Pontiac, born and raised. But when things need to get done, I try to jump to action, because that's where my heart is, with the students and everyone else. So again, thank you so much for having me tonight. Hopefully she will be reinstated soon. And if not, I will be here every Monday night until she's back in the Walt Whitman School. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Deani Peoples. I go to ITA as an 11th grader, and today I just turned 17. Um, as you may be aware of what's going on with the teachers and paras in this district, they are working without a contract, including my mom, who's worked for Pontiac schools for over 25 years. I grew up in Pontiac schools, but I didn't choose to do so. My mom working in the district required me to attend here for school. I've always tried encouraging my mom to leave the district and find literally anywhere else to work. But my mom believed in Pontiac schools. She believed in its students and its educators. Before I was even born, my mom worked at Kennedy with people in wheelchairs, diapers, nonverbal, and etc. I've watched my mom care for special needs for as long as I can remember. And because of that, I want to go in the field of an ABA therapist to start a nonprofit for special needs, wanting to learn musical instruments, which is something I'm passionate about. Just seeing the dedication my mom put in nonstop, going above and beyond for Pontiac really inspired me. Recently, we lost one of my favorite teachers, Ms. Hindo, due to having no contract and just how she felt about what's going on. Now she is subbing and is no longer a teacher at Pontiac schools, which is heartbreaking because our teachers and paras work hard for us every day and are a major part of our success and growth. We need this and it's getting revoked from us right in front of my eyes. Pontiac already has a major stereotype and bad reputation of how students act, how our environments are, and etc. So therefore, this prolonging of something very important for your staff and students isn't an image you should want to add to the reputation. You have the authority to take action. Please do so.
Ebony Sims, Janice Morgan, and Rhonda Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. I come to you as humble as I know how. My name is Ebony Sims. I started this journey with Pontiac School District in October of 1996. Fast forward to 2026. I have entrusted 3 of my children to this district. Today, for 2026, I stand before you again, not in good faith. I tell you, instead of celebrating my daughter's 17th birthday, I am here in front of you, the board, fighting for my life once again, as my livelihood has been jeopardized and I am faced with unsurety about my career that I chose and love. The last time I was here before the board, I noticed that Trustee Gross did not accept or receive my pay stubs. It took a lot for me to put my life and finances out to the world like that, but something has to be done. Trustee Gross, is it because you could care less, or is it because your job was done in June of 2025 when you voted yes on your wife being promoted to supervisor for dispatch for transportation? Isn't that a conflict of interest? Did you recluse yourself from that vote? The people and the community would like to know. We are also asking for a forensic audit, not as a staff, as a parent. $23.66 is a slap in the face to me after 29 years of service. It's not about find another job, Marcus Terry. It's about listening to reason and doing what's right for your teachers and parapros. What about some type of health care subsidy? You all are trying to scapegoat Dr. Powell. Yes, she is responsible for what happens in her building, but those same paraprofessionals that were not watching students in that classroom have been working 200 or so days without a contract. The quality of staff is a district problem, not a Dr. Powell problem. You guys have a great night.
Wow, I love the passion in this room. All right, okay. My name is Janice Morgan, and I'm a para at Kennedy. And I have been an employee of the district for 10 years, 9 of those as a para. I have invested hard work, dedication, and time into this district, so much so that I arrive to work every morning at 6:30, even though my official start date or start time is 7 o'clock. I show up for my work every day and have only taken minimal time off. I use that extra time to prepare for my students and any paperwork I might have omitted the day before, and honestly, to get my head straight for whatever might jump off during that day. Since I've been at Kennedy, I have been a diaper changer, a job coach, an extra body in a classroom that lacked adequate staff for that day, which happens often, a bus monitor, a lunchroom monitor, a mediator, and a peacemaker. And I am not the only one. There are many parents that put their heart and soul into the district and its students. I have had to be a one-on-one with a student that was determined to inflict bodily harm on another student. And in a couple of cases, I fell to the floor as I was trying to get in between the perpetrator and the victim. And I'm not 21 anymore, so that must have hurt me as a 72-year-old woman. So it should not surprise you that I am quite concerned with the ongoing negotiations with all the contracts that are currently without a resolution. And I make a point of engaging with my students, listening and hearing their thoughts, dreams, and fears. I am known as grandma to a few and always available to give a hug. In listening to your responses to this ongoing issue, I continue to hear we're working on it. Be patient. I've been patient for almost 300 days. It appears that there is no urgency on the part of this board. When I work with my students, there's no room for delays. There's no room for excuses, and there's no room for holdups. I'm expected to get the job done when it needs to be done. So tell me, if that is your expectation of me, mine is fairly the same of you. What's your delay? What's your excuse? And what's your holdup? I'm shaking my head too, girls. Like, why 300 days? I'm still shaking my head too. I would pray that you would think differently and resolve this matter as soon as possible. You have the authority to do so. And we're all shaking our head, Mr. Gross.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rhonda Johnson, and I'm a proud paraprofessional in special education at Oral Elementary. I stand before you tonight, not just for myself, but for my coworkers, the ones that couldn't be here because they're working second and even third jobs just to make ends meet. I speak for them when I say one job is enough. Every day we walk into our schools with one goal: to support our students and help them succeed. We build relationships, provide stability, and become safe spaces for students. The impact we have goes beyond the classroom. It reaches into families throughout the entire Pontiac community. But despite that impact, many of us feel seen but not heard. We are the ones listening when teachers break down and cry from pressure, lack of support, and overwhelming demands. And while we support them, we are also carrying heavy loads ourselves. We are understaffed, we are overworked, and many of us are underpaid for the level of work we are doing. And many days we're asked to go beyond what is reasonable and sustainable given what we know works best for our students through daily experience in our schools. We also need urgency in getting negotiations resolved because staff across the district are exhausted and many of them are choosing to leave or step away. This instability is affecting morale, retention, and student consistency. Those of us closest to the students see what they need every day. And we ask that this is lived experience be included in decision making. Yet we continue to show up, we continue to give our best because we love what we do. My motto is, we all we got, because too often it is all we have. But let me be clear, the district does not run without its people. Without teachers, paraprofessionals, support staff, bus drivers, food service workers, secretaries, security staff, there is no district. We are the boots on the ground. We are the foundation. So tonight I'm asking you truly hear us, not just see us, but hear us. Recognize our value, support us in meaningful ways, and ensure that we are able to live and not just survive. Because we are here. We are committed and we deserve better. Thank you.
Candace Ridley, Serenity Williams, and Stacy Chandler.
Good evening, board members, superintendent. My name is Candace Ridley. I am president of the Pontiac Education Association, the teachers union. I want to tell you a story. There is a castle on a hill in this town. The fat cats inside have corner offices, car allowances, conference travel, and retreats at hotels and spas. And every spring break, while our educators were working second jobs, grading papers, and calculating whether they could afford to take their own children anywhere, the fat cats in that castle were vacationing in Cancun, Miami Beach. They returned refreshed, rested, and full of vision. But this is not a fairy tale. This is Pontiac. Our paraprofessionals work all year and pick up second jobs in the summer just to keep the lights on. Our secretaries haven't had a real raise in years and skip the doctor because they can't afford the deductible. Our teachers spend hundreds of their own dollars every September and drive 40 minutes each way because they can't afford to move closer to the town where they work. And these are not statistics. These are people, and they are watching you tonight. You've told us we hear you. You've told us be patient, which brings me to why I'm here tonight. On April 26th, we will have gone 300 days without a contract. 300 days of showing up for children of this city without the basic dignity of a signed agreement. And so tonight, in recognition of this milestone, we have a small gift for you. Every time you look at it, think about those 300 days. Then do something about it. We are done being quiet. We will be at every board meeting. We will be at every public comment. This community is watching and they demand change. The fat cats don't run the schools. We do. It is past time you paid us like you know it. Thank you.
Serenity Williams, and then Stacy Chandler.
Good evening, everyone.
Serenity.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Serenity Williams. I'm a junior at Waterford Mount High School, and some may be prompted to ask what brings me here today. The denial of contracts for teachers in Pontiac is a prime example of where a person's ethics and morals should be prioritized over what is supposed to demonstrate professional conduct. The longer these teachers go without contracts, the more it shows a disregard of civic duties to students, teachers, and the citizens in the city of Pontiac. You want more funding for Pontiac schools and wonder why Pontiac schools are always in relation with impoverished communities or depicted in such negative ways. Teachers are quitting on you. Teachers are quitting because there is no equitable guarantee. Students in Pontiac are lying about their addresses to attend schools with better teaching environments. A vast majority of students are migrating to schools of interest, and teachers who are supposed to be here long-term to create impacts and build relationships are settling to be just substitutes because of the difference in pay. Let that sink in. Hold on, let that sink in. In concise words, the Pontiac School District is inherently losing money while trying to sit on it. Teachers are the backbone of education. If you fail to take them into regard, then the foundation diminishes, and teachers aren't getting paid to carry that burden. I hope that before the night ends, you can acknowledge this and what everyone has had to say, because it's imperative. It's pivotal to the Pontiac School District. And I go to Waterford Mott, but I've grown up in Pontiac my whole life. I went to ITA since I could go to school up until the 7th grade. This is very important, and I don't regret anything I said. Thank you for your time.
Stacy Chandler. Stacy here. Okay. Next we have Fred McFadden and Paul Sandy.
Good evening, community people. Thank you for coming out. This is your district. It doesn't belong to them. So I just thought I'd share that right now. So thank you for coming out and showing your support. So a lot of you was not here when I talked about salaries, and I called the Board of Education over there at the White House. So just so you know, year 24-25 salaries for 27 people, $2.7 million. 25-26 for 26 administration from the White House, I don't do the dance, what I say is 2.67, just so you know. That was not on purpose. And I just looked at another report today. Payroll, 2 pay periods from March 6th to March 20th, a total amount of $2.85 million. Again, like I tell you, board members, that's y'all employee right there. Dr. Leverett, you have the power to tell these attorneys, get something done. They have not done it. For some odd reason, there's something missing there, or there's some illegal crap going on right now. Trustee Dooley has begged, like Keith Sweat, for a full forensic audit. And you guys continue to say we don't need it. Again, 2 pay periods, $2.8 million. Salaries at the White House, 2.6 for 26 people. Make it make sense. You know, you don't care. That's the real deal. You can, Trustee Gross, me and you've been friends for years, and we can agree to disagree. But right now, you are the senior on this Board of Education. You know what it takes to get a deal done. You have seen us. Have you ever seen us gone this long? 300 days? Never. You've been here a long time. You've seen us get deals done. Make your employee talk to the lawyers to get a deal done. Or you just gonna keep having poems written about you. Songs might be wrote on Channel 7 may want to do a press conference. But the bottom line is, it's time. It's past time. Dr. Levery, you started out by saying, we see you. That let us know that somebody informed you that it was going to be packed here tonight. Thank you very much.
My name is Paul Sandy. I am a teacher at ITA and the vice president of the PEA Teachers Union. We are nearly 300 days without a contract. 7 of the last 8 years, Pontiac teachers, parapros, and secretaries have started the year with no contract. It doesn't have to be this way. The last 2 years, we have not had a contract until at least April. It does not have to be this way. District central office admins getting huge raises and the highest paid school board in the state of Michigan. holding out on the workers from getting raises. It doesn't have to be this way. The Pontiac School District getting the most money per student in Oakland County every year since 2014, but teachers who work here for 30 years being paid less than 26 of the 28 other school districts in Oakland County. It doesn't have to be this way. The people who show up for our children every day working 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. It doesn't have to be this way. 98% of teachers, paras, and secretaries voting no confidence in our superintendent and school board just to have you hear us. It doesn't have to be this way. Spending millions on consultants and lawyers instead of respecting our unions and talking to your employees as human beings. It doesn't have to be this way. Saying you care about your employees, but then not backing it up with actions. Say it with me, people. It doesn't have to be this way. We can work together for the good of our students, but you can't do that by ignoring the people who work with the children every day. Thank you.
All right, next we have board comments, and we will start with Trustee Dooley.
You're right. It does not have to be this way. It does not. I first want to give appreciation to those teachers, secretaries, parapros, all of you that make up the district. I too am at a loss for 300 days to have elapsed and you're without a contract. If you've been following since I've come to this board, I have advocated for a teacher contract, having been a teacher myself and retired from this district. I know what you're saying. I've lived it as well. So I'm very empathetic to you and your situation. As far as the secretaries, we all know they're the backbone. They help make this place run. And then for all of our paras that come in and you fill in where needed. Know that Trustee Dooley has been speaking up for you. I asked to be a part of the negotiations team once I found out that I could be as a board member. You talk about retreats. Well, I have been attending conferences and as many classes as I can take to make myself abreast of how this board should be ran. I have learned what we're not doing, and I've learned some things that we are doing. I have advocated for us to have a forensic audit because if we know how much money we have, we can align our resources. We can begin to truly look at teacher salaries and so forth and so on. And it's so vitally important that we make our teachers whole because you deliver the instructional strategies to our students. This board should be all about academic achievement and its sustainability. We cannot do that if we do not work together. Yes, there was a time when this school district was #1 in Oakland County. I was a student here as well. So not only did I grow up in Pontiac, I'm a resident homeowner. So when I sit here, I represent you. I'm not up here on my own agenda. I need that to be clear. I represent 7,617 people that put me in the seat, and then I represent the entire district that has a part of Pontiac. I go to these classes because I want us to regain that part. I realize the connection between having a strong district for new parents, young people to move in, housing, so we can work collectively with the city partners. Pastor Jones, I'm unaware of that letter you talked about, you mentioned. I'm just going to put it out here. A lot of things transpire Trustee Dooley don't know about it. Sometime I hear about stuff when you hear about it. So I'm just being as transparent as I can. I am doing my part. I speak up. I'm often accused of what they call it. I send people out of here sobbing uncontrollably because I'm asking you to be accountable. When I ask questions, I'm not trying to be anything other than direct to find the answers. And also when I'm asking questions, that's my way of the information getting to the public, because you don't know what we know. So a lot of times I'm doing that, especially on that money. I will fight and I continue. I need somebody to get us an audit. Do what you need to do. Make the phone calls, get the petition signed. But we need to know how much money we have so we can move forward. I do look forward to working, Pastor Jones. I'll talk with you after the meeting to get those dates for those meetings. And on a good note, congratulations to our robotics team. They are going to Worlds, both teams. So we are doing wonderful things here in this district. I asked the question, are we going to go out and get our students back, and opposed to closing buildings? Additional buildings are on the list to be closed. Didn't know about that till I heard it in the meeting. So we need to campaign and tell all the wonderful things that we do have to promote our district, to get our students back into the district and become a viable place to be, a learning institution. I believe we can do it if we work together. So you are right. It does not have to be like this, and it shall not remain like this. We shall be successful working together. Teachers, I am rooting for you. Secretaries and paras, we will get a contract. But no, Miss Dooley, Trustee Jennifer Lynn Dooley, has been advocating for you, and I have asked to be on that committee. It was stated, oh, she's going to be intimidated. No, I felt like this, and I'm going to be 100% real. The anointing. We all pray to God, and we all talk about how God is in our life. And even on our money, it says, in God we trust. So in God we trust, and I believe that things are going to be better. One last thing. I'm a member of New Mount Moriah International Church, where Bishop William H. Murphy is the pastor, and he remains our pastor. It was stated that he will not be our pastor. That was misinformation, inappropriately stated. I'm going to finish. And we are here, New Mount Moriah. So if you're looking for somewhere to come, Pastor Jones' church is there, New Mount Moriah, and there's a lot of churches. But we have to pray, people, and ask God to work this out for us. But working together collectively, we will get a contract, and we will regain and educate our students and sustain that academic achievement. Thank you.
Trustee Miller.
I mean, what do I say after that? I mean, I look out in the audience and I see so many familiar faces. My son, all right, who goes to Pontiac High School. I know y'all hear me talk. Stand up, boy. Stand up, Carlos. Stand up. That's my baby. Yeah. He belongs to me, but only when he's acting right. Anywho, Ani, baby girl, Ani, happy birthday. Happy 17th birthday. And the young lady sitting next to you, thank you for coming out to speak on behalf of your friends and your people here in Pontiac. Okay, thank you for that. So when I say I look and see, I know Avis, I've known you for forever. So I'm looking at these faces, so it is personal. I'm proud to say I'm not one sitting behind this desk. How many times y'all done seen me in the school on the we got a football coach, all right? These are people who have developed my son sitting right there. That one belongs to me, and all of these kids belong to me, and I mean that. So it's personal. It pains me to see all of you with red shirts, knowing that you probably got up about 5 or 6 o'clock, and it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock, and you've had a long day, and then you have to go home and get up and be prepared for our students tomorrow. I'm not gonna give y'all the song and dance about this is what we're gonna do, because I'm only one person. I don't know what I don't know, but y'all know where I stand. If you don't, I stand, that boy is mine. He goes to the high school. All right, that should say enough. History teacher. What was the last thing you said when you spoke up there? Come on with it. Come on, history teacher. I thought, who said put up or shut up? That was you. I knew that. You know what, history teacher? I agree with that. That's why I'm not going to give y'all no song and dance. I've been on this board for, 13, 14 months. And the disappointment that I feel, because I feel like I'm not being effective as one person. So I feel I have the same level of frustration that you guys have, if you can't tell. Thank you for coming out tonight. I will make myself available for as long as you guys are here. I want to talk to you. I ain't got nowhere to go. My kid already here. Hopefully he ate. I don't know. I want to talk to you because it's not just me sitting behind this table. I don't care about this table. I care about my son. If y'all care about my son, that means I care about y'all. All right? So let's do better. What'd you say again? What's the last thing you said, history teacher? Come on, say it. I can't hear you. That's where I'm at with it. I'm not going to keep repeating myself. I've been saying the same thing for over a year. We need to focus on our students. We need to focus on our staff, this community. I ain't going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep speaking out on behalf of it. And whoever don't like it,
Thank you, Trustee Gross.
Well, what an evening. Good evening. Fred, you were right. I am the senior person on this board. I've been doing this now about 15 years. So I've seen them through the years. So it's one thing I learned. When you have a crowd like this, you need to watch what you say. And so I want to say this. Extremely important. Doing this a long time. And no, I haven't seen contracts go without contracts for 300 days. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But I'm saying to you, as well as to our people, there's two entities that's involved in this negotiation: the union and the board. Let's get this done. The union, it has nothing to do with the superintendent. We've talked, we give instructions. You guys don't know what we talk about behind closed doors. We do not sit purposely at this diocese to just look at you guys and say, hey, they're without a contract for 300 days. Every single contract for the 14 years that I've been here, every time a contract is brought to the board and our faces change, not one time we have not said approved. I understand why the anger comes towards us, because we're the face of the district. We're the board. But neither one of us sit on the negotiating team. We only go by what we've been told. We argue with the people that negotiate for us. We talk about them too. We give instructions to the only person that we employ. Let's get this done. We thought this matter was going to be done before the holiday because we said, as an entire board, check me if I'm wrong, go to the finance department, find the money and get this done before the holiday. We came back after Christmas and they said that no one wanted to meet. Listen, it works on both ends. Both entities has to get this job done. Period. You think enjoy the fact that we have to we look at you and you tell us the pain and suffering that you go through because you're not being contractually taken care of. That's unacceptable. In my standards, it's unacceptable. This should never happen. Now, my hopes and my prayers are that upon completion of this contract, it's a minimum of 3 years, because we can't keep going through this. We can't. This contract, your contract has been delayed over the last 5 years. It has been delayed every year. Every year. Why? I can't answer that, because I'm not part of negotiations. I don't know why. I don't know what's being said by both sides. We don't know. We only know what's being reported to us. But it's okay. We'll take the heat because we are the face. We are the face. And this is why we limit ourselves on the information that we state from this diocese, because you are in negotiations. There's no hatred to our parapros or teachers. There is not. There is not, whether you believe me or not. I have never lied and never will. Not to, I have not. You can suck your teeth if you want to. I have not lied. I've approved every contract that has come before me. When it's brought to us, there are two entities that are negotiating: the union and the representation of this district. The union and the representation of this district. The union and the representation of this district. Two entities. Neither one of us sit in negotiations. We give instructions all the time. We've said in board governance meetings, when it wasn't recorded, stating, get the contract done. I said 2 years. Fred said no, 3. And I said 3 or 4. You remember that? 2 weeks later, there's a vote of no confidence. That's okay. So I say to the union, I say to the superintendent and the team, get the job done. The onus is on you. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Fred, you please, thank you.
Trustee Gross?
Thank you. No, I'm gonna continue because yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Gosh.
But all I ask is that we get the job done. Let's not go another 300 days.
Thank you, Trustee Gross. Secretary Davis Smith?
Good evening. I'm glad to see you guys out, and I'm glad to see you fighting for your rights and for yourselves. Trustee Gross was being completely honest when he said that we thought the contract would have been done by Christmas time because we gave the direction to do it. All of us as a board have asked for the contract to be completed, and they also said that they wanted more than just 1 year for it to be done. And just like you guys, I done said it before, I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm a school bus driver. I get off the bus, I go into the classroom, and I teach kindergarten. I get out of the classroom, go back out, drive the bus, get off the bus, go onto the field as a football coach, go home and bake. And right now it's tax time, it's over with just about. So I understand when you guys say how many jobs you got to do in order to teach our kids. And I know you guys do it not because of the pay, but because the fact that you love this district. A lot of you people that's in here tonight have taught my children, have helped my kids in some sort of way. If it wasn't for Dr. Powell, I don't believe my youngest son will be the successful young man that he is. He's graduated with his bachelor's degree he don't know what he want to be for real, but he does have a degree. We trying to figure out what he want to be in life, but I'm glad he did do that. But without her, he wouldn't have got that far. He was at Waterford School District, and they said my son had a learning disability. When we moved back to Pontiac, and Dr. Powell got a hold of my son, she walked him through, and ever since then, he has been on the honor roll. He was excelling in college, and it's not just Dr. Powell, but it's so many other people and so many other educators, bus drivers, the staff in the kitchen. Without us all working together, I mean, me as well, we couldn't do the things that we did. I needed all of you guys to help me with my children. I needed the teachers and the staff before you to help my mom with me and my siblings. So I understand clearly that making sure that you have what is the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, y'all, I'm tired. But I'm working without a contract too. Sorry, y'all. So, I mean, I go through the same thing y'all going through. I haven't had a raise either at the school I work for as well. And so I understand the frustration and things like that. But we have, as collectively, have stated that we needed a contract for you guys. All we do is when you guys agree upon a contract, we vote for the contract. And we have, like Trustee Gross has said, we have always voted yes for your contract because that's what you wanted. And I just want to say that it takes all of us to be a successful district. And I also wanted to say we lost two of our prior students who I drove from from middle school to high school, a sister and a brother. We lost them last night. And also my bus monitor, she passed away yesterday as well. And she was my bus monitor here in Pontiac School District. And I just want to send my condolences to those families, especially that mom. She lost two children at one time, and it's senseless. And we just need to be prayerful for our city, with our kids, with it becoming hot outside and warm outside. And we need to be one with the school district, the city, the library, so that we can have things that our children can do outside of school so that we don't have tragedy this summer. And so that's all I got to say tonight. And just keep fighting for yourself. We're going to continue to fight for you guys as well. And I love Pontiac, and that's why I stay here. Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer Terry.
Good evening. First off, I want to say congratulations to the two people that will be participating in the China International Summer Exchange Program. Wish you the best of luck, and would love to hear a report when you come back and see how that experience went. Next, I want to say for Peace Academy, which is located here in the WHRC, they do have pre-K open enrollment. So if you are looking to get your students registered for pre-K at Peace Academy, the number is 248-451-7770. Next, Accent Pontiac, which is very popular here in the school district, that does a lot with a lot of our students. They're holding their 6th annual Birdies and Beats, which will be held on June 12th, 2026. You can reach out to accentpontiac.org and look underneath their upcoming events to find more details, and it will be held at the Heathers Club this year. Next, I want to say congratulations to our robotics team. Keep up the good work. And when you make that trip out there, bring back first place again. We would love to have that trophy. Outside of that, good meeting. I appreciate the passion that I see out here. It is wonderful to see a united front. And the main reason is driving this for everyone is the contracts. I would say keep that passion going until you have what you need. I'm not gonna say stop. I'm not gonna say pause. You're doing what you feel is right. And I respect that. I respect that. Things happen, things get done, you know, little prizes and little gifts and trinkets and stuff. I appreciate that as well. But it also lets me know how serious and how dedicated you guys are. I know you do a lot for this school district, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So I appreciate that. I take my hats off to that for those that are still here and still committed for these students. As you also know, the academic information has been provided. No, we are not the #1 school in Oakland County. Our scores and our test results show that. I'm looking for that to change, with or without the contract. As it's been noted that, hey, it's been like this in Pontiac for years. And I'm sure a lot of y'all feel the same way. Years. The board itself is not going to make that change. We're just not going to make that change. We can help with policy, but a board by itself cannot make that change. It's going to take all of you. It's going to take this community. It's going to take us lifting each other up. Respect, holding people accountable, you name it. Everything that we used to have back in the day. So I urge you, I implore you to continue doing what you're doing. I respect it. And I'm pushing, just like the rest of my trustees, for this to get done soon too. Because I'm sure it's a lot of other things everyone sitting here now, and even the ones that's online watching, could be doing. But your time that you spend in here lets me know how serious you are. And I appreciate that. I really do. So make sure you continue to push, continue to get the rest of your teachers, bus drivers, kitchen staff, push all of them if they don't have their contract. And I respect the reporters. I respect us going live because guess what? Pontiac is not the only city in the school district that doesn't have a contract. But what you guys represent are not just Pontiac, but all these other districts too that don't have contracts. You leading by example if they haven't started doing what you're doing. So on that note, I want to say thank you for coming out. Continue to do what you're doing, and let's go Pontiac. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Treasurer Terry. I'll start with the good stuff. We are nearing the end of the school year, and we have class of 2026. I've seen a list of a number of students that have been awarded scholarships for their academic and their athletic ability. So I want to say congratulations to those students that are progressing, and they're looking forward to graduation day. Also, as it has been said, our robotics team continue to thrive and is on their way to Houston, Texas. Firebird and the Wings of Fire are heading to the World Championship, and we are appreciative of the support that they receive and all those adults that are working with them to make them the team that they are. As it relates to the conversation and everything, I don't even really need to reiterate what's been said. I know you guys say, you replay back to us what you've heard us say. So that tells me that our words don't really matter because we do hear you, we see you. But one of the things that I think our trustees have pointed out is it's in negotiation. And because we are not at the table, as we have been advised not to be at the table, we have to go by what the two entities are discussing and they bring it to the board for approval. We look forward to that day coming just as much as you all do. You guys have shown us your commitment to this district. You have shown us your passion to this district. You have publicized it in so many ways. And we appreciate that and we respect that. And just like Treasurer Terry said, if nothing else, it shows not just the Pontiac community, but it shows the other surrounding communities how passionate our teachers in Pontiac is for our students. And so that we thank you. But unfortunately, we can't move the contract forward until it comes to us completed. We want it to be a contract. And as Trustee Gross said, there has not been a time when you all did not receive a signed contract. So it's just a matter of time. And yes, I agree, 300 days is a long time. I thought last year when we went nearly to the end of the school year was a long time. And to know that we're back here in the same boat again, I totally agree. But unfortunately, this board can't do anything until you all agree on what you want the contract to be. So once you all come to an agreement of what that contract should be, then we can approve it. We can't do anything until that happens. We support it. We get updates just like you all are discussing. We are informed of what's taking place. And unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do until you all bring an agreed upon contract to the board. We couldn't do this. This district wouldn't run without you. We know that. You all have shown us that. But again, to have you all come, we want to hear what you have to say. We're not minimizing anything that has been said, none of the feelings that have been shared. We understand. But unfortunately, we can't approve it until it's brought to us. So whatever the negotiations is, whatever lap the ball is in, it's up to you guys to get it done so that you can bring it to us. We don't want this to continue to happen. We don't want to continue seeing posts negatively on social media about the school district. We don't want the news to always come to Pontiac to report because there's something bad or because there's an outrage. We don't want to always be publicized for something negative. So this contract has been a big thorn in our side, and we want it to be completed. We support you. But unfortunately, this board can't approve anything that hasn't been brought to us. So again, we thank you for your commitment to the school district. We thank you for the years you have dedicated to our students. We thank you for continuing to show up. We thank you for coming here and making us aware of all of the issues that we may not even be aware of because we're not in the classroom every single day. But what we can agree to do is do what we're supposed to do. And as it relates to these contracts, when a negotiation, an agreement has taken place, please understand, because we don't want you guys to always have to come here in this space like this. And we don't want to always have to see you all upset and displeased. So we want this to work. But again, unfortunately, we can't do anything until the negotiation has completed and an agreement has been come to, and then we can approve it. And I know you probably don't want to hear that, but it's the facts. I mean, we've gotten a whole lot of attention. Pontiac is on the news. We got a whole lot. So if that was the intent to put us on the map, we're there. But again, it's because of your commitment that you keep doing what you're doing for the number of years that you've done it. We appreciate you and we thank you for that. And unfortunately, if our words are not enough, then like you said, put up or shut up. When the agreement is brought to the table, then I guess everybody will have to shut up. But until that is taking place, then we're going to continue to listen to you all because we respect you enough for that. And you guys are going to end up, whether you want to hear what we have to say or not, then you're going to come and then you're going to hear us say this. But trust me, we do not want to continue in this space. As it was stated, we're not the only district that's going through the negotiations. And regardless of what other districts are doing, it's up to your negotiating team to get it taken care of. So whoever's at the table, then they have to come to an agreement and then it will be brought to us. And I apologize if that's not soothing, if that's not enough. But again, not until this negotiation or an agreement has been met, this is where we all gonna have to stand. And we want it done just as much as you all do. So again, on behalf of the board, we apologize that it has taken this long. We hope that things will come as we're told. We are very close to a settlement. We have a tentative agreement, and that's what we're going by. And so we're hoping, as we had hoped by Christmas time, and then even after that, that we were there. But now here we are, as you all say, by April 26th, it will be 300 days. We don't like it either. But again, we thank you for all that you do for this district. We thank you for what you do for our students and our families in this community. And we're hopeful that things will, that an agreement will come to pass soon so that we can all move past this. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved by Trustee Dooley and supported by Treasurer Terry to adjourn the meeting. Any questions? Roll call.
Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
And that passes 6-0.
The time is now 8:34 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned.